Hi everyone, this is Debbie with Book and Bujo. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've been here before. And I'm so excited to let you know that I have been asked to be a co-host for Merry Bookmas, which is the end of the year readathon for SeasonAthon with Completely Melanie. So I am so excited because I have been participating in SeasonAthon Academy for a couple of years now, and I just love it. It is so much fun, and it is put together by Completely Melanie. The other co-host is Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse, and I also love watching her TBR Star Hop every month. It is so much fun. And I will leave their channels linked in the description box below. Their announcement videos will also be up about the same time, so make sure you head on over to their videos and give those a watch as well. So Merry Bookmas is the last readathon of the year for SeasonAthon, and it takes place during the entire month of December, so from December 1st to December 31st. And there will be 12 prompts, including the group book, and I will let you know what those are in just a minute. And each year there's always a theme of the 12 something of Christmas, and this year it is the 12 movies of Christmas. Let's go over some housekeeping first. So I did find my holiday sweater that has Christmas trees and little snowflakes on it. I don't really have a whole lot of Christmassy shirts, so this is what I could find. The prompts and all of the links and everything that you need to know will be down in the description box below, so make sure you head on down there and check them out. The form to submit all of your reads will be in the description box as well, and Melanie will reveal all of the amazing stats at the After Hours live show on December 28th, and that will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. There's also a Discord channel that you can join for SeasonAthon, so make sure you head over to Melanie's announcement video so you can get the link to that. Let's go over all of the prompts, and then I will do a quick little recap of all of the dates that you will want to make sure you know about so you can join in all of the sprints and live shows, the author chat, and all of the fun stuff that's going to be happening in December. All right, prompt number 1 is The Santa Claus. Read a book with a reluctant hero. And I was kind of noodling on some of the books I might include in my TBR, and this one was actually fairly easy once I kind of wrapped my mind around what a reluctant hero is. And some of the books that I thought of were the Hunger Games series. Any of those books would work. Any of the Harry Potter books by J.K. Rowling would also work. Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan, any of the books in that series would work as well. Godkiller by Hannah Kaner. The Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. Most of those have a reluctant hero somewhere in the book. Sabriel by Garth Nix. I have seen that on a few people's TBRs coming up. A lot of people are wanting to do rereads of that one, so that would be an interesting one. The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. The Tower of Nero, or really any of the Trials of Apollo books by Rick Riordan will also work, and I'm up to the 5th and final book, I think, in that series, and that's the Tower of Nero, so I most likely will choose that one. But there's also The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, so any of those would work well for this prompt. Prompt number 2, Jingle All the Way. Read a book with a family dynamic. This is another one that's fairly easy. So we have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Any of the books in the Christmas Tree Farm Mysteries by Jacqueline Frost would also be wonderful here. The first book is The 12 Sleighs of Christmas, and I'm hoping to read the 5th book, which is I'll Be Home for Mischief, if I can find it anyway. There's a lot of great family dynamic books out there. Prompt number 3, I'll Be Home for Christmas. Read a book with a quest. This is another one that has a lot of options. Any of the Rick Riordan, Percy Jackson universe books would definitely work here. The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, that is a great one. And again, any of the Harry Potter books work as well. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline could also work. Aragon by Christopher Paolini. Sabriel by Garth Nix. The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. Any of those would work. I've been wanting to get to Aragon and The Stardust Thief, so I may have to put one of those on my TBR. Prompt number 4, Elf. Make your favorite holiday treat and share a picture on your social media or in the Discord channel. So make sure you head over to Melanie's channel to get the link for that. Prompt number 5, one of my favorite Christmas movies, Die Hard. Read a controversial or polarizing book, like a book that people either seem to love or hate, since most people are pretty adamant that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and others are adamant that it is not. I am on the side that I think it is a Christmas movie. There's Christmas music, there's Christmas trees, there's a holiday party, it takes place around Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. Some books that I thought of that would go well for this one. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I actually loved that book, but there are a lot of people who just really don't like that book. I mainly see reviews that are, I loved it or I hated it, not much in between. House of Leaves is another one. Most people either love it or they just don't like it at all. There's not a lot of in between. I don't understand how it's a scary book. I don't think it's a scary book. It's an interesting book and intriguing, but I do see why people like it though. Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros is another one that I've heard yes or no's on, but not much in between. Bunny by Mona Awad. I loved that book. 5 stars for me, but other people just don't get it or they just don't like it. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. My niece loved it. I did not. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, as well as The Historian by Elizabeth Kortova. And this is one that is on one of my TBRs. I believe it's the 52 Book Club TBR. So I do need to get to that one. I may put that one on my TBR. Prompt number 6. It's a Wonderful Life. Read a book with alternate timelines or time loop. Some examples. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemore. We have The Christmas Wish by Lindsay Kelk. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. Those could all work in this one. Prompt number 7. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Read a spooky or spoopy book. And I do have a couple of spooky and spoopy books that are centered around the holidays as well. So we have The 12 Strange Days of Christmas by Sid Moore. This one is a collection of short stories and they're all very interesting. There's a few in here. I wish they were a lot longer because I want to know more. But there's also some in here that are kind of continuations of a couple of the other stories. So you get one part of it and then another little piece in one of the other short stories, which is kind of fun. So I do recommend this one. And this one I think is actually book 5 in the series, but you don't need to read them in order necessarily. So any of the ones in this series would be fun. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens would also work. Krampus, which is one of my favorites, by Bram. Love that one. The Advent of Winter, and that's put together by Dom from Dominish Books. It's another collection of short stories, and that one is beautiful. It's got a lot of spooky vibes in there. So some of the short stories, they're all fantasy, but some of them lean more towards horror than the fantasy, and those ones are great. I would recommend any of the books in that collection, or just the whole collection itself. They're great. 24 short stories meant to be read one each day for like a bookish advent calendar. It was super fun. I've also heard Nosferatu by Joe Hill would work, and that is on my TBR for one of the year-long readathons, I think the horror readathon. So that one's an option, although it's pretty long. The Christmas Curse by Tabitha Cross is another good one. I read that one last year and I really enjoyed it. It's another good spooky one. A fun spoopy one would be A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Fisher. And again, any of the Jacqueline Frost books of the Christmas Tree Farm mysteries, because they are kind of have that spooky / spoopy all in one feel to them, and they're very fun. So The 12 Sleighs of Christmas is the first book in that series. Prompt number 8. Charlie Brown Christmas. Go to a local holiday concert or a Christmas tree lighting. You could even just drive around your neighborhood and look at all of the different lights on everyone's houses, and it's just super fun. As a musician, I always like to encourage people to go out and listen to some of the different holiday concerts that are most likely free in your area, and just support your local musicians. Prompt number 9, my husband's favorite Christmas movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Read a book with a grump finding love. So I actually found a ton of books that actually have grump in the title, which that is not necessary. You don't need to have grump in the title. There's a whole lot of grumpy sunshine tropes out there if you want to take a look at those. But a couple that I found that had more of a holiday focus was Snowed In with the Grump by Kat Baxter, The Grump Who Stole Christmas by S. Doyle, How the Grump Saved Christmas by Claire Kingsley. I just thought these ones were fun because it was a play on the name of the movie. I would recommend one that I read last year and it was super cute, and that is Solo for the Season by Martha Keyes. And the Grump is actually the female main character, and it was hilarious. It had me chuckling and laughing. It's very kitschy but is super cute. Number 10, Polar Express. Read a polar fantasy. So we have some great options for polar fantasies. The Bear and the Nightingale, any of the books in that series by Catherine Arden are beautiful, so atmospheric. Love those. And I do have The Winter Witch, which is the third book in the series that I still need to get to. We have The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. This one is a great option. Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I read that a little bit earlier this year, and that one was really good. Great atmosphere. The Raven and the Reindeer by T. King Fisher is another great one. A Winter's Promise, which is also a series I want to read this year, by Christelle Dabo. Frostheart series by Jamie Lindler. The Girl in the Stars by Mark Lawrence. That's the first book in the Book of the Ice series, so any of the books in that series would be great. And also the Winter Song series by S.J. Jones. So if you want top tier atmospheric, any of these books would be great. Prompt 11, A Christmas Carol. Read a book about second chances. So of course you could read A Christmas Carol. Apparently most Emily Henry books are second chance romances. We have Happy Place and People We Meet on Vacation. I think there's a couple others as well. Persuasion by Jane Austen. That one is a great one, especially if you like classics. The XX by Erin Sterling. And one that I read last year that I really enjoyed was The Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. That one was very heartwarming. I really enjoyed that one. And lastly, prompt number 12 is The Dog Days of Christmas. Read the group book, which is Pupcakes by Annie England Noblin. And we will be having an author chat on Melanie's channel on December 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which brings us nicely into going over all of the dates that you need to know for this readathon. The readathon runs from December 1st to December 31st, and on December 1st we do have live show sprints on Melanie's channel. On December 4th we'll have sprints on my channel. On December 12th the sprints will be on Stephanie's channel, and then on December 15th Melanie will be hosting sprints again, and all of the sprints will be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I believe is 12 p.m. Pacific or Arizona time. On December 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be doing a Christmas movie marathon watch party, which is going to be so much fun, and I will leave the link to that down below. For the watch party, you will need to set up a Scener account, and that is free to do, and it's super easy. It just takes a couple of minutes. You also need to have Netflix, and this will only run on a desktop or a laptop. It could be a Mac or a PC, but it will not work on your TV or your phone. So you will need to have access to a desktop or a laptop for this. And all of the links will be in the description box below for that. And then the most important date you want to know is December 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're having the author chat or the author live show with Annie England Noblin, and that's going to be on Melanie's channel. And then later that same night on December 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be doing the After Hours live show, and that's when we will get to find out about all the fun stats and the last ditch effort to get everybody reading and get in those final books before the readathon ends on December 31st. Make sure to check back with all of our channels so that you can find out what each of our TBRs are going to be as we get a little closer to December, as well as any updates or any other things you may need to know. Make sure you head over to Melanie and Stephanie's channels so you can see their announcements, as well as in all of our description boxes we will have the link to Scener, to all of the different channels, also for the Discord channel and everything else. Bonus brownie points for you if you watch any of the movies that are associated with each of the prompts. Is your favorite holiday movie listed in any of the prompts? Because a couple of mine are, like, well, Die Hard, definitely. I also love A Christmas Carol. But what is your favorite prompt that you're looking forward to the most reading? And if you have any suggestions for any of these prompts or books you think that I should read, let me know down in the comments and I will see if I can get those on my TBR. And thank you so much for stopping by. And if you made it this far and you're not quite sure what to say, but you want to let me know you were here, put in a little Christmas tree emoji or maybe a couple of snowflakes down in the comments. And until next time, keep reading. Bye!